All right. Welcome back to another episode of All Aboard for the KMS YouTube.
Choo.
You've got me here, Adam in Jersey, and a slightly buzzed Irish Ned Snark.
Eating a drumstick.
a Nestle drumstick, which is great. I also love that you're wearing an Irish shirt. Like it just all fits right now.
It's written in Gaelic. Yeah.
By the way, have you ever seen Gaelic football?
Yeah.
You want to talk about a man's fucking game. Yeah. That game is the craziest. I don't understand 3/4 of it anytime I've ever seen it. But that game is, if you've never seen Gaelic football, watch a clip of it. It's basically rugby, but incredibly 100 times more violent and physical. Like it seems like the type of game you'd play on shards of glass.
Right.
It is.
Yeah, there was no rules. I think the sport of rugby, came out of Gaelic football. They added more rules to it. Yeah, I played rugby in college between football and baseball seasons.
Of course you did.
Brutal sport. Brutal.
I mean, it is rough, but it's literally child's play compared to what I saw when I watched Gaelic football.
Yeah.
But speaking of events, watching things, listening to things, I don't know. I don't know how to segue here. Let's talk about Magnolia, because let's just start with the show itself.
Wild.
Because I think it was every time one of these shows happens, Kirk always says best show, best town, blah blah blah. Of course he is. That's just the showman he is. He's going to say that, of course, obviously. This though, hands down, sounded like, especially to someone who wasn't there, the best show that the best live show period.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw someone put up some really good pictures. It might have been, no, actually, I'm sorry. They didn't put them up. Justin Durant sent me some excellent pictures from inside of La Mariposa. Mm-hmm. And what we watched on Mariposa, what we watched on YouTube, doesn't give the full scope of how narrow the place. It's a very small restaurant.
Yeah.
And it seems to be longer and narrow than it is wide and deep. So it must have been a fantastic venue, very intimate. I imagine it would have been like the VFW, something on that range. But it looked like it was in a great location. It was in a great town. I think the guests that Kirk brought on with Guy Geller and Mercedes people were criticizing Guy, but he's an old man, and I kind of like the pace that he was speaking, and maybe because I'm almost there.
Yeah,
but almost. It was good, and Mercedes was a firecracker. She was fantastic. So and the fact that she double crossed Dave on the Mexican food was the best.
It really was. All right, wait. So let's talk about Guy for a second. So you're like a big history buff. You listen to these history podcasts, so that's probably why you liked it. Jesus Christ, Ned's giving a blowjob to this fucking ice cream right now. Thank God this one's on YouTube, because that's going to be for everyone to see.
And we're delicious.
But it's so that's I think why you like that. To me, Guy Geller reminds me so much of my grandfather.
Sure.
Who, the Holocaust survivor, just always talking about the old country, giving his views there, really a no bullshit type of guy who's just, right. Real mellow, real low key, but will tell it like it is, and will happily tell you a 75-minute story as a response to a yes or no question. By the way, I'm also the same way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but did you order his book?
I did. I have his book on order.
Okay.
Someone
did
reached,
you do it
maybe it was
Dave?
Dave. Yeah. I think Dave reached out. Well, I think I said this before, that intern Harrison, when Guy was first brought on about the book, Harrison sent out a DM with the link to where the book is sold. It's out of Amazon, right? But when I saw there were 5 for sale, and when I went back, I want to say 10 minutes later, they were all gone.
So
I was like, wow,
this was fast. In another one of the threads that you're in?
Another one that I highly secret. It was actually a DM. I DM'd Harrison asking if you can help out with where we can get that book. But then Dave, I think, sent out a message too. If you want, let me know, and I'll get me your email address. So
yeah, he also put that on Twitter itself.
Yeah.
But So I responded to Dave also. I'm looking forward to reading it. I was disappointed I couldn't get it on my Kindle. It's that I wish it was available for. You got some ice cream on your beard, actually on your mustache.
I'm more upset that you're getting it on a Kindle rather than a real book, but okay.
In all fairness, I love books, and I still have to get real books for a lot of my reading because of Sabbath. But for the sake of traveling and just wanting to keep reading more, it's easier for me to just have it on a Kindle.
Bullshit. You pack a book.
Okay, but it's easier for me to just have it on my Kindle. Welcome to to modern times, Ned.
No.
Jeez.
Kindle.
Well, listen, when you're
awesome,
when you're a published author on a Kindle only book, like one of us is, and I will leave that as a breadcrumb right there, because I am actually.
Yep, you and Tom Wood. Tom Woods has like 123 books on Kindle, none of them in print. Okay.
Well, I had mine was actually in print also because I had to do it it was a work thing. I wrote the history of a company that I worked for that we shared with everyone.
Oh yeah, that we can't talk about though, right?
Yeah.
We still you're still under an NDA or you're going to be.
Oh no, that's a different company. That's a different thing.
Oh, that's another corrupt company you worked for.
No, this one wasn't corrupt. This one was like it was just a culture building thing. I was working for a tech startup and we were growing, so it's a culture building thing. We wrote, the CEO wanted everyone to know about the history of the company, so I played Big Steve and I wrote the book for him, although he gave me credit as opposed to Howie Carr. And I wrote the book about the history of the company. We printed it out for everyone and put it on Kindle for everyone. So
is that in your bio, your Twitter bio, published author?
Twitter bio? No. My resume? Absolutely.
Absolutely. So anyway,
moving on though. But no, it was, listen, Mercedes, what the fuck can you say about her? She
must light that town on fire.
My highlight of just like overviewing the whole show came from, I think, yesterday's show. Yesterday's show, when Kirk said, I can't believe that Mercedes was talking about riding a bike on a dildo while standing next to Guy Geller. I'm just like, that just sums up everything.
Well, that's, the thing about the show is that, like, Kirk finds these people, whether it's Stacy and Madawaska or Kat and the VFW, he brings them in and they don't really know what they're getting into. Yep. So I was getting ready to cringe too. And, some of the things that were going to be said in the show around, guys, 82, 84.
Well, that's like how Mayo tweeted out to the picture. Someone posted a picture of Guy Geller and his wife. And this was like right before they started the show. And Mayo tweeted out, and hat tip to him for this, something along the lines of, I love knowing that in the next 2 hours, these two sweet old people are going to hear the word cunt 100 times.
Good for him.
Yeah.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it. And of course, the big surprise, right?
Yes. Do you believe it was a surprise? I know that they keep saying it was.
No, it was not.
Do you believe it was?
It was not a surprise, but I will tell you as truthfully as I can. When Steve sent tweet out that picture of the beach or wherever he was, I even went back to him and said, like, are you on the Treasure Coast of Florida? That's like Palm Beach and north, below Cape Canaveral.
Yep.
Didn't get a response. So I DM'd him saying, are you going to the Bitcoin conference in Miami this weekend? And he said, are you going to be there? And I said, I will. Something to the effect like, I will if you will. And that's the last I heard of him. So it was one of those where it was like, oh shit, I wonder if I can find Steve. And that van must stick out like a sore thumb. The bodies, the stench of dead bodies must be too much. But, that was Saturday was the show. And then he showed up Saturday night. I'm like, aha, I've been duped. Yep. And he actually DM'd me back saying, sorry, I had to throw you off the trail. I'm like, okay.
If you were to be given 3 guesses, would you have been able to guess the outfit he was wearing when he showed up?
Oh,
the corduroy plaid,
the boots, the main hunting outfit. Yes.
Is that exactly what you pictured that he would walk out of that Sprinter van in every single day over the past year?
Yep. The yes, the down east November clothing that you wear. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Whereas it like April, mid-April in the South.
Yeah. It could not have been more perfect. It was just, everything that you wanted to see. But listen, he didn't miss a beat. He came back and was just going up with Kirk and being the big giant weirdo that we all love, but also giving Kirk shit. Being such an asshole to Dave, which was fantastic. Also, I mean, he just came in and, you know, just like everything else with the Minifans, because he's not there, everyone loves him again.
Right.
But, you know, he just came in and just lit the world on fire there.
Yep. Exactly. It was like having that drumstick. I don't want a drumstick every day. After like the third day, I'll be sick of it. But, you know, you have one every, you know, once a month or so. It's like, whoa, what a treat. It's delicious. You know, but
also if you have one every day, you look like this.
Yeah, that's true.
That.
Yeah. But the story that intrigued me though was kind of like went under the radar, and I think it came up today on today's show. Even though today's show is very low key because they were both very sick.
I mean, they sound terrible. We'll get.
They sound rough. Yeah. But Mike stayed in his room the entire time.
Yeah, they talked about it. They talked about it on the show itself, also.
Yeah, that threw me off. I was kind of like, wait. Well, I thought it might have been. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't listening intently, but it just hit me today. It's like, the poor guy stayed in his hotel room the entire weekend.
It worked out for him.
I suppose, right?
Yeah, right.
Although Justin didn't get it.
Listen, I'm sure they both are just as equally at risk from just having been in those small spaces with everyone. Yeah. But, you know, I actually think more along the lines of what Dave was saying today or what Kirk was saying today versus what Chris said on the show, in terms of like Chris during the actual when they were actually in Magnolia was saying how he's, you know, a little nervous about Mike. Mike seems to be like he seems to be off on the side a little bit. He's, you know, keeping to himself. I think that Mike is so, I don't want to say the word scarred, but he's so fearful of what happened in Madawaska the first time, that if he is on a trip somewhere for this show, he is not going anywhere. And then also when they went to Florida, if you remember, he was crossing the street and Kirk was behind him and took a video of him running, and it was funny. But like, again, if you're Mike, you're clearly sensitive about your weight, your looks, being very blind now, you know, even more than before. I think that he is just like, if I don't put myself in a situation where I will either risk doing something stupid that I will get laughed at for, or risk doing something stupid that I will put my relationship with the show in jeopardy for, then that's a successful business trip. I think he's actually finally looking at this as a business trip versus, you know, just going to have a good time.
Right. I also think too that being in a different place, I think Dave might have mentioned that, but being in unfamiliar surroundings with limited visibility, very limited visibility and very limited sight, and you know, Alba wasn't there, and he's had to rely on someone that you're not totally comfortable with. I mean, we're all friends with them, and that we'd help them out. Of course we would, but it's not like having someone, you know, more intimate to help you out, a brother or sister or girlfriend or whatever.
And it also wasn't the same. You know, you're right. Yes, everyone would help out, but it's not like it was the same Minifans that he's usually used to. I mean, he said it himself. There's most of the people that were there he didn't know. Right. So the ones who he might be comfortable with, most of them weren't there.
Yeah.
But also, you know, to the other point is that there's also no, you know, it's not a place where you can even just get an Uber somewhere quickly and just get around. So it's really, you know, I think that he put all of this together and was like, it's probably best for me to just play safe. Plus, you know, like he said, I'm going on a vacation with my girlfriend, you know, in 2 days. I don't want to like why is it worth putting myself in harm's way for that?
Yeah.
So that was my take on that. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, your favorite topic in general, COVID. So whether it was just happened to be someone had it or whatever, or whether it was because
I don't believe
an unvaccinated person who has horrendous hygiene and has the brain power of a dead person
who I think's been suspended from Twitter now, by the way.
Oh, really? That would be so nice. I don't think so. I think he's just been muted by everyone.
No. Account suspended. I'm trying to see.
Well, there's like 17 of them, but whatever. It doesn't matter. We don't need to say his name. We don't need to give him any of the attention he wants.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Whatever the reason was, clearly they got their shit kicked out of them by COVID. They had sounded awful.
They did.
But, listen, Kirk is still putting on his Jordan flu game, and he's still going out there. He's still, doing it. Do you have any thoughts on their choice to go into the studio versus doing it remote?
Well, if when they video it up on YouTube, there's pretty good distance between the two, right?
And besides, the only two people in there are them.
And Mike or Chris or someone sitting in that chair.
Right, but I'm talking about like today, for example.
Yeah. No, yeah. No, I think they could do it in the studio if they wanted to. It does sound better in the studio.
Oh, so much better.
Yeah. But they both needed the rest, and why drive it and you feel like shit? It's an upper respiratory thing, so that's why they were both complaining of the dry cough, that there's no nothing to work it out. That's because it doesn't reach all the way down there. It's really your upper respiratory system. It happened to me too. I had a very dry cough for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And I smoke. So it's like, I thought it was just me, but it turns like that is what happens to everyone. So it does suck, but it doesn't last forever. And I've been much, much sicker. I want to say even like within 5 years ago.
But on the flip side, Kirk is saying he hasn't felt sicker than this. So again, listen, everyone reacts differently, different strains, whatever.
Yeah. The guy eats like a bird. He eats no nutrients. He eats chicken breast, steamed chicken breast, and like dry rice.
All right. We had Sheldon on last week. We talked about it last week. We don't need to do it now.
But he doesn't eat a lot of nutritional food, right?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely want to talk about that.
Yeah.
No, but
let's talk about the book you wrote, Adam. There we go.
No, but do you think that that by next week they'll be back up and running? Do you think that this is going to impact the, like Kirk said today, that they were probably a little too loose with COVID stuff? Do you think that this is going to impact, for example, the VIP tickets at the Wilbur, that they'll maybe keep it a little more distanced, maybe keep it a little more like elbow taps instead type of thing?
Maybe maybe when is it? It's in June, right? So we're still like 2 or 3 months away, 2 months, 2.5 months away. Maybe, who knows? I think personally that Wu will shut the city down looking for any excuse. So who knows? My money is on the Wilbur not happening or getting pushed back again.
Again. Okay.
Philadelphia's already like asking for masks. So, and they're going to try to shut it down before the election, do it gradually as if they think no one's paying attention.
I missed this talk.
Absolutely is going to happen. But no, I don't know. Will they take extra precautions? Once you get it, you've got natural immunity. So
for a certain period of time.
And Kurt was vaccinated too. So he doesn't know what strain.
And boosted.
I do think it was, was he boosted too?
He said he was boosted. He's just like me.
I do think it was hysterical that Steve sent out an undated, unverified picture of a negative COVID test from Abbott Labs, which they're made up in Scarborough, Maine, or maybe South Portland. And he just like, wasn't me, But it was like, it'd be nice if he had like he had written a date on there or something, but okay.
I mean,
it was amusing.
I think you might be overanalyzing that a little too much.
Oh, did you see it? Did you see it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I think you might be overanalyzing the dating thing. Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to cover? Do you want to talk about as basically a co-host of At a Theater Near Me? Do you have any thoughts on the demise of the podcast?
Yeah, it's very sad news. Very sad news. I sent Chris my condolences. I don't blame him. It would have been miserable. He must really, really be feeling under the weather, because who wouldn't want to rush out and see Singing in the Rain in a theater when you're sick? When he sent me the DM saying, Ned, no need to see Singing in the Rain tonight. This was last night. I was like, oh, thank Christ. Because I did not want to see that movie.
Oh, so you were going to go on again?
Oh yeah, we were going to both see it in the theaters last night. Then we were going to record, I think, Monday.
Okay.
Because we're all tied up with the holidays and such. Right. But I had told him, I said, I really dread. I'll do the other ones, whatever. But I have this irrational annoyance of Gene Kelly, and Laura, the queen of the Minifans, has already been calling me out that she has seen Singing in the Rain 200 times, and I just can't stand it. Something about Gene Kelly, the forced fake smile, the rolled up black pants with white socks and loafers. Something about him annoys the shit out of me. So I have trouble liking that movie at all. So I'm kind of glad when he said, like, you don't have to see it.
Do you think that Kirk is going to miss bashing at a theater near me.
Oh, he's going to probably get 2 or 3 shows out of it, right? Because when they come back on, next week when they're all healthy. Yep. But I have to, I tip my hat to Chris. He went as far as he can go. Really, 4 months, 4.5 months. That's incredible. And I do wish that he had toughed it out, because if he had gotten through this, it would have been amazing.
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable, right?
Do you think he runs it back next year?
I don't think so. I think I think that he thought this was a great idea and was all gung-ho for it. But I think once it got going and he saw the obstacles he has and how much of a drain it is and how you have to build your life around this going to a movie theater every day was overwhelming. I think he might have underplayed that. So okay. I don't think he'd try to do it again. Maybe something different. But I said, hey, these were fun. If you ever want to do something like that on just classic movies on a irregular basis, not every day, I'd love to do it. It was
do you
fun.
think that he'll maybe take that RSS feed and turn it into like a movie podcast just in general?
I don't know, but there is one. I found one 2 weeks ago on Spotify called History in Technicolor. And it's these 2 English guys, an old guy and a younger guy, and they review historical movies for their historical accuracy, the quality of the film. They did Amadeus. They did a lot of things that Quantum Week did, which I thought was interesting. But it's actually quite good. It's just 2 guys discussing. There's no clips from the movie or anything like that. And the best part is it opens with the film rolling.
Oh God.
I know. I'm like, holy shit. But this one began, I think, in 2017 or 18. So it goes back quite a far. But it was very entertaining. I'm going to send Chris the link.
You should, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, we're going to be off next week just because Passover. I'll take the blame on that one.
No, that's okay. Well, my new job too, Adam. So it's like,
I was just going to blame it all.
Tonight's a holiday, but no, you're going away. That's perfect timing. And he also won't share the feed, by the way, folks.
That is not true at all. I told you to record without me, but you're busy with your new job. Yeah. No, but I'll be in Florida. Anyone who's going to Orlando for Easter vacation, feel free to reach out to me. We can hang out with some Minifans. I know that there's at least one other person that will be in that vicinity for Easter week. So
getting their children groomed.
Don't want to don't want to name anyone or anything like that, but Ola, and formerly Choo Choo. But anyways, we will do better.
Why are you hiding LK?
I'm not. I'm just.
He has a house there. Everyone knows he has a house.
I know.
So you're going to the anti-Semitic grooming capital of the world.
Well, I wouldn't say anti-Semitic grooming capital of the world.
God.
I
didn't think so either until I saw this Black History of Disney.
I'm only doing one. Well, no, Walt Disney was an anti-Semite. I'm only doing one day at Disney. I'm doing 2 days in Orlando, and then in Universal, and then the other days is just going to be holiday days with my entire extended family. So it'll be fun. I don't know if I've sent you a picture or not, Ned, offline, but let me just paint a picture here quickly. There's the room that my kids are staying at in the house that we have, because my parents are already down there because they're going down there for the first days of the holiday. And then, I'm going to my in-laws, whatever. But it has a bunk bed. First of all, both bunks are queen size beds, so nice, comfortable for everyone. It's a Super Mario themed room. So there's like a ladder to go up to the bunk bed on the top, but on the bottom, but there's also next to the ladder, there's like a pipe colored design slide that whoever's sleeping on the top bunk can slide down if they wanted to get down. It looks so fucking cool. I want to go on it. My kids are like drooling and for sure. My kids are chomping at the bits to get down there and go on it. So either way, we'll be back in a couple of weeks. And we'll do better next time. And follow us on Twitter at allaboard_pod. Ned, tell us about the music.
Thank you. I thought you were going to run us out there.
Oh, God. No. I would never.
So, Cats and Kittens, Boys and Girls, the opening music and the closing music is a piece called The Water Song by a group called Hot Tuna. Hot Tuna was around they're actually still around technically, although they've had some changes in the band. But this was formed out of the original Jefferson Airplane with Jack Cassidy and Jorma Corkadian. I can never say his name right. Great stuff. This is an instrumental. It's actually a very beautiful song. Even Adam said he liked it when he got the test. So I suggest all of you give Hot Tuna a listen. You can find him on iTunes and also on YouTube.
And by the way, you know that that Mercedes will love this song. And on that note,
and with that, there we go.